Kravitz. If you have not followed his Triple H horse racing podcast, you're missing out. It's one of the best podcasts in the country.
Good morning and welcome to Keeneland Today here on the HHH Racing Podcast. I'm your proud host, Howard Kravitz. Thank you very much for joining us on a beautiful Saturday, October 12th, weekend number 2 at beautiful Keeneland Racecourse in Lexington, Kentucky. And hello to everyone that might be watching in Lexington. There's a big fall contest happening at the track this weekend. All my good friends and family out there, good luck to everyone playing the contest. Again, I'm your host, Howard Kravitz. Thanks for joining the show. Please make sure you hit that subscribe button, the bottom right-hand side of the screen. After you do that, hit that notification bell on the top right-hand side on YouTube and smash that like button right below the video player. That will send like-minded horse racing fans to the HHH Racing Podcast. Of course, you can listen to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Anchor. Fantastic tip sheet. I just sent it out a few hours ago. Our regular Saturday tip sheet is available at a very affordable price, very profitable. And hot off the presses, you're going to find out information next week about our Breeders' Cup Power Picks tip sheet. Get this, more than 20 pages. That's right, more than 20 pages of coverage for Friday and Saturday. Details to follow next week. Make sure you pay attention to our shows and our emails on how you can subscribe to our Breeders' Cup only Power Picks tip sheet. We've got a great website as well, hhhracingpodcast.com. We are here today to discuss the early pick 5 at Keeneland today. The feature of the day is one of the best 3-year-old filly turf races in the country, not the best. It's the QE2. It's the Queen Elizabeth II Stakes. It's a grade 1 happening later today. I believe it's race 8 at Keeneland with 2 euros also, and it's going to be a great race. But we are here to talk about the early pick 5. We'd appreciate any comments you have. Place them in the live chat. You have to go to YouTube for that. If you're watching on X, thanks for joining the show. Again, if you'd like to comment, though, you probably want to go to our YouTube channel like Katie has done. What's up? Katie is here. Paul Conlon, Keeneland. Do I need to say more? No, absolutely not. Mike Salette is here. Good luck today from Mike. And, of course, we have Erickson, Guiamara, Caceres, Hernandez. Hola, senor. How you doing, Erickson? Thanks for joining the show. Appreciate it. Guys, let's jump right in here. Again, we're going to be talking about the early pick 5 today. I'm going to go ahead and bring it up. It's not an easy sequence. That's for sure. And there's some pretty big fields. Scratches are already in. We will get to that as well. Let me take this banner off the screen and let me show the banner that matters the most, which are my picks. They're not going to be scrolling because it's just me today. We've got, just to let you know, we've got our co-hosts are gallivanting all over the country in Vegas and Keeneland, their own prospective jobs, whatever. So it's just me solo today, sort of going old school, bringing back memories of the early portions of this podcast, but hopefully I will be able to do everyone justice. You see my picks on the bottom of the screen. This first race is a 20 claimer going 6 furlongs. For the girls, it is a field of 11, and you can see there is a scratch, the scratch of the number 9, Sparkle of Hope. The number 9 is out. You know, it's a filly race. We got a lot of misses here, and look what I'm doing. I'm going 8-7-5, just completely a coincidence. I'm going Miss Jeopardy over Miss Easy over Miss Saley. How about that? I like all the misses here in this race. Again, I'm going 8-7-5. Let's go ahead and look at my top pick here. My top pick is Miss Jeopardy, the 8 for Cody Rosine. This is a trainer that I know actually pretty well because I used to cover Canterbury quite a bit, and he also runs some horses at Hawthorne. He's an underrated trainer. He's very good. There's a decent amount of speed in this race, but this horse is improving. She's a 3-year-old filly out of a Medaglia d'Oro mare. I like her tactical speed. She's been involved in some pretty fast paces, as you can see here, going 45-1, 44 and 4 at Canterbury. Should sit a very nice trip. There is other speed in the race, but I do like the potential trip that she will get. There's no killers in this field, and she's 6-1 morning line. So why not start with Miss Jeopardy, the 8 horse, to start our day off? You can see the pace projector. There are 3 horses in theory lined up, and Miss Jeopardy should sit a very nice trip there behind the speed, and that's what I project. So if she gets that trip thing, that's going to work out well. I got the 7 and 5. So again, obviously, I'm not taking the pure speeds in this race. I think there could be a fast pace, as it says, and I think it might set up for a stalker or a closer. I do also like the number 7 here, which is Miss Easy, who will be coming from behind. Miss Easy might be a little bit slow, but she's improved greatly the last 2 starts, 70 and 81, and looks like to be the best closer in the field. Look who's riding. Junior Alvarado in town. Paul Halloran. Are you listening? Junior Alvarado, our guy, is in today. He has a few mounts, and Miss Easy should be flying from the back of the pack. She's only 2 for 19. But again, her Buyers, a 70 and 81, greatly improved. Last time she won by 10, although that was at Thistle Downs in Ohio. And I've got the 5 in third, Miss Saley, who is coming off a little bit of a break. Irad, by the way, I believe 1 for 14. Irad is not known to do well at Keeneland. Again, most of his connections and ownerships or whatever are in New York. So it doesn't really surprise me that Irad has not had a great meet so far. We'll see what happens. Miss Saley is probably a use, mainly from Florida, Jose D'Angelo. But I'd like to see this horse. I don't think this horse has worked. No, this horse has been working exclusively down at Palm Meadows. I like to see a local work. It looks like they just shipped up for this one. So I'm a little negative to this horse. I do have her in third. She's going to take money with Irad. Excuse me one moment. All right. So there are my picks, 8, 7, 5. Let's see who we got here. Any thoughts? Paul Conlon likes the 10 at a big price a little bit. The 10 is Karma Gia, 30-1. Whoa. Hello. Paul, you'll be able to go first class on a plane or in a limo if Karma Gia wins. Good luck to Karma Gia. Tom is thinking the same way I am to some respect. He's going 7, 8, 11. How you doing, Tom? Congratulations on your 49ers, who absolutely rocked it out for sure this past Thursday. All right, that'll take care of the opener. Let's go to race 2. Race 2 is a main special, and I have a pretty strong opinion. I have a replay that I want to show here as well. This is for the 2-year-olds, mile and 16th, $100,000 on the turf. Let's make this bigger so we don't have to see. There we go. We don't want to see the ads. There we go. Big field of 12. The number 13 would have been live to me, the AE, but the number 13 sound cause is a scratch because all the main body horses are in. Led by the Moorline favorite, the number 8 Governing Party for Chad and Irad, who obviously will take a ton of money. I think it's mainly a 2-horse race, and I have a pretty strong opinion here in this race. You never know with 2-year-olds going long on the turf, but I really like what I saw for the number 10 Executive. Those of you in Lexington playing the contest, are you listening? I mean, if you like my picks, you might want to make a play here in race 2 with number 10 Executive for Mott and Alvarado. I'm going 10, 8, 3 in race 2. Let's go ahead and look at this field. It's a full field of 12 again for the babies. And let's take a look at my top choice, number 10, Executive. Executive is by constitution. I have a curly mare, Curlin. Mott and Alvarado. Mott can certainly win first out. I mean, he's done it before plenty of times, but he's solid second out. I want to watch the replay. You look at the running line here, and you see third by 1.5. Looks solid. 60 buyer. Okay, nothing spectacular. Before we look at the replay, let's look at the field that Executive ran in. Early adopter came back and ran in a stake and ran okay with the 66. And I didn't really love necessarily this race in general, but Battle Drum, who finished what, fifth, improved his buyer points, as you can see here, 16 points. Cyclone State improved his buyer points 12 in his next start. Got a guy who was second to last, did come back and win. So I think this ended up being a better race than it looked first on paper. And what you want to pay attention to is the finish for number 9 here. The executive is the number 9. He breaks okay from the outside. You see him right there, but in the middle of the race, you see he's in the back. He's pulling a little bit, but he sort of loses touch with the field. I mean, it was not a fast pace, and he's pretty far back here in the blue. He got a solid trip. Look, he's even further back now. And they went 48 and 3. I mean, that's honest. It's not blazing, but he's just sort of loping along in the back. He does that get a good inside outside trip. I will say that. Here he is right here in the blue. He's right here, ladies and gentlemen. He's still what, second to last, and he makes a big run. It was very professional. He's sort of in between horses. He angles out. And again, he's still what, sixth or seventh right here. And you're like, Howard, what do you like about this horse? Once he gets to the outside and once he gets his footing underneath him, and it was not firm that day. You see they're kicking up some clouds of grass there. Look at Executive right here, absolutely flying late to finish third. And again, watch the gallop out. I've talked about it a lot. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it doesn't matter. Look at this. Here's your 9. Here's Executive finishing in front of the winner with plenty of energy. And it does matter. Gallop outs do matter. Gallop outs are not the same. Every gallop out is different. But the fact that Executive showed energy late and still had plenty of run after the wire tells me he's very live. I don't think we're going to get 7-2. I think we're getting more like 5-2 today. He's got to, weave through some horses. I hope he shows, excuse me. I hope he shows more tactical speed today. I don't know how much early pace there is in this race. I mean, you never know, but that is a very nice finishing kick. He's been working at Saratoga, and they trainer Mott decides to bring him here to Kentucky with a higher purse when you could have kept him in New York for sure. To me, that shows confidence. I also want to show one more thing out of this race here. If you look at the incremental splits, let me go full. This is the final, I think this is the last 5/16 of a mile. Finish in 29:28. Clearly the best finish of anyone in this field. The winner was 29:49, so 0.2 of a second faster. I do like Executive here quite a bit in this spot, as long as he can work out some kind of decent trip. And I don't think he's going to be the favorite. The number 8 is certainly the horse to beat, Governing Party for Chad and Irad. Only got a 51 buyer. That was a very fast pace that he was involved in. Another horse by Constitution, by the way, hence Governing Party. That was a fast pace Kentucky Downs. I am a little worried that Governing Party will get loose and just wire the field. I'm hoping someone will go with Governing Party. You never know. But again, I'm really hoping Executive will show more speed. Another horse considers number 3, Geometry. Also got a 50 buyer, lost to Clock Tower, who has been staked last week, I believe. Looks a little bit slow, but Jonathan Thomas, Dettori, a Twirling Candy might improve. And hey, since I'm a math teacher, gotta like geometry a little bit, right? So I'm going 10-8-3. I do think it's mainly a 2-horse race in race 2. We have literally, again, hundreds of people watching. Thanks for joining us today. Let's see who else is here. Mike Saletta is also doing the same thing. He's going 10-8-3. How about that? Aaron D. What's up, Aaron? DeVoe doing well without Perot, Offspring early. That is the number 5, Lawless Ways. Aaron, thanks for bringing up the number 5, Lawless Ways. Cherie DeVoe. Again, this is a without parole colt out of a Scat Daddy mare. Atomic Blonde was a very nice horse, staked. I think this is Atomic Blonde's first sib. It is. So this is the first progeny out of Atomic Blonde, Cherie DeVoe. Check out the board. The 5 is interesting. If the 5 is taking money, I would consider the 5. I usually like to see a start or two from first crop progeny, in this case, Atomic Blonde, the mare. but the without paroles, I think, are doing pretty well. Let's see. They've had 4 starters, and one of them has won without parole. So without parole was a very nice horse. We'll take a look. There's without parole, was a grade 1 horse for Chad, was very talented, obviously. These are very young mothers and fathers with lawless ways. Look, interesting. If the board tells, if the 5 is taking a lot of money, look out. That one could be live. But I'm going to go with the number 10 here, Executive. Let's go on to race 3 here on Saturday at Keeneland. Race 3 is an allowance race. It is 6.5 furlongs, $110,000 is the purse. And there is going to be a huge, and I mean a huge favorite. The number 4, Too Sharp. Forget this 4 to 5. There is a scratch of the 3, Je suis rapide. The number 3 is out. And the number 6, I think this is a big scratch, actually. The number 6, Zadorsky, is also out. That would have been a major exacta play for me. I would have loved a 4-6 exacta in this race, especially from a contest perspective. With the 6 now out, I probably would not play exacta, and I would just take a pass in this race, or play doubles. Gary Rice, thank you very much. Gary Rice loves the hat. UK, go Wildcats. They had Midnight Madness last night as the official start of the basketball season kicked off there at UK. Appreciate that. Oh my goodness, look who's here. Wow. Look who's here. My good friend, Matt Bernier. What's up, Matt? Thanks for joining the show, man. He's not in the makeup truck yet. Apparently not, but Matt, appreciate it, from NBC Sports and FanDuel. Check out Matt's coverage. He does a great job with the rest of the crew there at Keeneland. Wow, Matt likes the 2. Kenai for all the cash and prizes. Good luck to everyone today. Thanks, Matt. Matt likes Kenai, the Tom Drury horse, the filly, who's 5-1. That is the horse I do have second. Let me go ahead and show my picks here on the screen. Here we go. My picks are now 4-2-5. So, Matt, I don't think the 2 is completely impossible. We're going to talk about the race, but Matt Bernier really likes the 2. This is only a field of 6 now. So let's take a look at this field. The number 2, the big favorite, they're going 6.5, clearly is going to be Too Sharp. And Too Sharp is won a main special by 11 at Saratoga. Came back and ran in the prioress against Brightwork, who actually didn't come back and run very well, and just got nosed out. This horse absolutely towers over everyone here in the field. Also is a 124 time form rating. You go ahead and look at the time form here, and I believe it's going to have, it does have a fast pace, though. I should mention that. Has a fast pace, but the 4 has a clear lead. So if the 4 gets out there, I think she's going to be tough. There is something to consider. I think this is where Matt Bernier is going with. I'm not sure. It's hard for me to believe that Too Sharp won't get the 6.5 when she blew away the field 2 starts back, going 6.5. But she's got to translate that to Keeneland. And let's go ahead and look at this too, that Matt Bernier likes, Connive. Connive went 7 furlongs first out, which is not as easy to do. Tom Drury is pretty good with the firsters. This horse won by 7. This was really impressive, was able to rate and go by. It was for a maiden 75. That makes me a little bit curious as to why this horse was not a main special, but did it very well. The dam was more of a sprinter. I'm not sure about the distance with the dam. This is also a half to Bandita for Pletcher, who freaked last year and didn't come back very well, but is a nice horse. So this family is good. It's Jose Ortiz. I'm guessing Matt Bernier thinks the number 2, Connive, is just going to sit off the 4 and maybe better. Look, it's not a bad pick. Maybe Stormy Matoli goes. I just don't think they're fast enough to go with Too Sharp. If Too Sharp is not on the lead, though, that could make things interesting. And there is other speed in this race. There's Zadorsky, who's scratched. The outside, even Lightning McQueen Lightning My Queen has some speed. Good luck to Matt Bernier on the number 2, Connive. I do think Connive is the most likely horse to beat Too Sharp. Kanaya's going to have to step up her game. I wouldn't completely rule it out. I'm going 4-2-5. Too Sharp is going to be 2-5 in this spot. And if you can beat Too Sharp, you are really going to get paid. Matt Miller, if you're listening, maybe a little insanity backup win bet on the side in your cash with the 2. Connive wouldn't be a bad play. But we'll see what happens there in race 3. Let's see if we get some comments here. Well, here's a comment from Matt in the chat. I think they pulled a fast one with Connive at Churchill for the 75K. Ran straight as an arrow, looked like a good thing. Plus, she won't be shorter than 7-2-ish. There you go. Look, Matt watches a lot of film like I do. He's obviously very sharp handicapper. I will admit I did not see the replay. Obviously, I believe everything that Matt said. She did it very professionally. So maybe Connive is the goods. We'll see what happens there. Thanks, Matt. Appreciate your intel. Good luck with anyone who goes with Too Sharp and or Connive. Let's go ahead on to race 4, the next race here of this morning's pick 5. This is a tough race. Starter allowance 20,000, purse of 69,000. They're going 6 furlongs. This is for the boys. It's a big field of 10. There are 2 scratches. The number 7, Solidify, is out. The number 11, who I thought was a interesting long shot here. The number 11, Print Track, is out. So again, it's a field of 10. Let's go ahead to my picks right now, and I get those on the screen in race 4. I'm going 10-6-12 in this race. I'm going with Downtown Charlie Brown. This is a PA bred. Fernando Hara is riding. And if you, especially younger handicappers who are not familiar with Fernando Hara, he used to be a very good rider. He's won, I believe, the Dubai World Cup. He rode a lot in New York. He's a veteran rider now, but he's ridden a lot in the Middle East, actually. He's a solid veteran rider, and I'm going to go with him. Now, there's a lot of speed in this race. There's a lot of ways you can go. The first thing I want to do is go ahead and show the early, the pace here, time form, because it looks like it could get hot. And there's the pace right there going to time form. They've got the 5 on the lead, followed by my 10 just sitting off. They also have the 4 up there. It looks like it could be a fast pace, but I'm just going to still go with the PA bred, the number 10, Downtown Charlie Brown. Anyway, you see the 7 is out, as is the 11. The 11 is out also. The 10 is clearly the best speed from the outside. The source is coming from the Mid-Atlantic. Penn National, Monmouth did race very well at Saratoga, just lost to Print Track, has run at Keeneland and done well. 6 furlongs is, I think, probably about as far as he wants to go. Actually, I think, is this 6.5? Let me refresh my memory here. No, this is 6. I think that distance is perfect for Downtown Charlie Brown. He needs to break well, but he always shows speed. Just lost in 100K stake listed at Monmouth to Dean Delivers, who's a nice horse. I believe this horse can sit and finish if he needs to. If he gets an easy lead, that'd be ideal. I don't see that happening at all here. I think Downtown Charlie Brown's going to have to sit. He's going to have to run well. This is a very competitive field. There is other speed in the race, and it's quality speed like the 5. Yes, I'm a beast for Torres and Ronan Creighton, who is very quick, but that's Gulfstream Park quick. And I think the 10 is just a better horse. But the number 6, Global Sensation, who should be sitting right off the speed, is very sharp and is a major player. I have Global Sensation, the number 6, in second. So this is a very competitive race. I also looked at the number 12, Alpine Thunder, who now moves in a spot for IRAD. That means this horse is automatically going to take probably more money than he should. But this one looks like could sit mid-pack, and if they really heat it up, Alpine Thunder might be good enough to win coming in from Parks. 12 hole, it's okay. It's not ideal. He might be caught wide, but I'm sure that IRAD can figure something out from there. This is a very interesting race. But again, I'm going to try my hand here with number 10, Downtown Charlie Brown. I would not take too low a price on this horse, though, even though he's been staked, but he's been staked in some PA bred races, also open company. So again, I would not take that low a price on the number 10. I do think he's very logical here in a very competitive spot. Aaron liking the 4 at 12-1. Let's take a look at the 4 here. The 4 is Hiya for Arietta. I've got the 4. Let's see here. Actually, I don't have the 4 anywhere. I just thought he was slow. I know he won that last race at Canterbury with a real nice buyer, 88. Canterbury can be speed favoring at times, and Aaron, I don't see him getting the lead. Good luck with your pick. You've got a price. I would never poo-poo anyone that likes a price. I just don't see him getting the lead in this spot. I see Paul likes the 8. Again, Hara is very legit. Paul Conlon, I agree with you there. So again, I'm going 10, 6, 12 in race 4. Let's go to the closeout leg here on a beautiful Saturday, October 12th at Keeneland. I'm going to go ahead and switch some things around. The early pick 5 ends in race 5, of course. In the later part of the card, I'll just mention a few things as well. My Keeneland Power Pick tip sheet is out. My regular Power Pick tip sheet is out. Everyone should have gotten their information. And we wish everyone good luck, whether you're playing in New York, Kentucky, California, Florida, wherever you might be playing. Let's go and look at race 5 to close out the early pick 5 today. There it is. Let me take the banner off my screen so we're not confused. There we go. This is a main special again on the turf for 2-year-olds. This is basically a split of the race 2. I thought this race is a little bit more wide open than the first leg, but we'll see. $100,000 purse, mile and a 16th for the boys. Field of 12. The also eligible 13 Seattle Road is out. The morning line favorite is the number 4, Lucky Mischief for Dal Stewart and Saez. I have a strong suspicion the number 5, Blue Chair Bay for Cox and Giroux will be the post time favorite, even though he is the second choice from our wonderful good friend and morning line maker, Nick Tamaro. I think it's between these two. I actually prefer the 5, Blue Chair Bay. Let's go to that race right now. We'll take a look at it. Blue Chair Bay, again, trained by Cox, ridden by Giroux, is a second-time starter who on paper doesn't look great. I mean, finished 6th there by 10, but wasn't the best trip and was in a pretty live race. You see, he was bumped at the break. Again, Kentucky Downs is just a weird track. This horse is owned by Barry and Joni Butzow from Minnesota. Very famous connections up there. They have a lot of really nice horses. I'm expecting major improvement. You see Brad Cox, second time out. That stat at the bottom sometimes is not, is a little bit misleading. So let's look at it. Second time out, Brad Cox overall, last 5 years. How about that? 30%. Let's see what he is with his babies. I'm just curious. I haven't looked at this yet. Let's see what he is with these 2-year-olds. Is he better than 30%? I'm guessing it's a little worse than that. No, it's actually better. 31% with his babies. And if we even go to the turf, let's see if we go to the turf. So turf 2-year-old second time out, 36%. Wow, just keeps getting better. That's a great thing about DRF. So Brad Cox, 36% with his 2-year-olds second time out on turf. That is quite a big number there. I just think he's live. He's going to run much better today. The number 4 has had his chances. Lucky Mischief. I mean, obviously he can win. I love me some Yoshida on the male side out of it into Mischief mare. The buyers are better than the 5, but just missed last time. I mean, he can win this race. I just prefer a fresh face in this race. He's been working well. Wouldn't surprise me at all if the 4 wins. I think there are some other horses to consider here in the closeout leg. How about the number 12, Takak? Takak is Jose Ortiz and Nacho Correas getting blinkers on. Was again at Kentucky Downs and did have a very nice close. Another Yoshida here. I believe he's going to show more pace with the blinks on and Jose Ortiz. There's a long enough run into the first turn where you can find some position. I think the rails are out 10 feet today. So just slightly. I wouldn't rule out Takak making a major improvement. I think I've also got what the number 11. I don't think is impossible in this race. Zap Ta. I thought the one Johnny's Rendezvous at 6-1 for Phil Bauer will show a lot of speed from the inside and save ground. I think he's going to be much better than that Kentucky Downs effort. He stretches back out. I even looked at the 8 and the 9. The 8, my father's place. If he takes money, Irad and a Rusty Arnold. Sound is back on. If someone wants to confirm, I think my sound went off there for a minute. If someone wanted to confirm the sound is back on in the chat, I'd appreciate it. It looks like it's good. I think it went off just for a second. I greatly apologize. Anyway, my father's place, the number 8, 15-1, Rusty Arnold, Irad, first time starter. The number 9, El Muhit, another first time starter, Walsh and Tyler. You got to see the board. Tom said the audio is lost, but it's good now. Okay, it's good now. All right. Thanks, Tom. Anyway, there's a lot of ways to go in race 5. I think it's a spread. I'm going 5, 4, 12, but I would use as many as 5, 6 horses in race 5. I just think it's a very difficult way to close it out. I'm not very deep in some other races in the early pick 5, so I think you can uh, go light early, spread late in today's early pick 5 at Keeneland. Let's go to my best bets. My best bet is in race 2. It is with Executive, the number 10. I would play a win bet on the number 2 Executive, hoping to get 5-2, 3-1 on that one in race 2. And I would smash a double 10-4 with 2 sharp. Matt Bernier brings some good points. Maybe I'd play a backup or a Dutch double using the 2 also connive in race 3. That is up to everyone there at home listening and watching, but I would just try to crush a 10-4 double. 10-4, good buddy out there from all of our police friends, all the men and women in blue. What is a 10-4 going to pay? I would say could pay 6-1. That double, I would take a 6-1 double somewhere around there, a pretty big field into a heavy favorite, maybe 5-1, but it might be worth it if you do like the number 10 Executive. A few thoughts before we close out the show. And again, we greatly appreciate everyone watching and listening. Later in the card is the QE2. And for those of you that do not subscribe to our Power Pick tip sheet, first of all, why not? Please go to patreon.com/HHH Racing Podcast. Let me show it on the screen. Patreon.com/HHH Racing Podcast is where you can get our regular Saturday Power Picks. They are emailed to you every Saturday morning. We cover several tracks throughout the country that have big stake races or great pick 5 sequences. I'm just going to throw out 2 horses real quickly that I like late today at Keeneland. I do like the number 10 in the big race, the QE2. I'm going to show that on the screen. We're not going to show the PPs or break it down. If you want more information, please subscribe to our Power Picks, or you can listen to our show. It was episode, I'd like to say 377, I think, our Picks and Ponies show from last Thursday, but I will go ahead and show the field for the QE2 very quickly. Here's the field of today's race 8, the grade 1, the QE2. It's a big field of 10. I believe the number 5 Soprano will be the favorite for George Bowie and Mr. Lonane coming in from Ireland, who just lost to very talented Porta Fortuna. I like the other one. I like the French spread. I'm going with the number 10, Kandala, on the outside. She's got to tuck in from the outside. I'd like to see Drew have her covered up. I talked about her extensively on the show. I do like Kandala, the number 10, in the QE2 quite a bit. I think I'm going to get an okay price. The other horse I want to mention, and I talked to my good friend Matt Miller about this, and I don't like this horse quite as much now. I do want to say that very clearly. I really liked in race 9 the number 7, Ben Franklin, for two reasons. One, the horse was 15-1 morning line, and number two, that last race was very much of a prep. He's second off the layoff, Ben Franklin. The reason why I don't like the 7, Ben Franklin, quite as much now in race 9 is because of the scratches. Seeking Unity, the number 3, was going to show a lot of speed and help set up my close for Ben Franklin. And what obviously Ben Franklin now gets to move in 3 spots. But one of my negatives was on the 11, Kamorabino Omede. That horse also now moves in several slots and is not nearly as wide as I was hoping. There is other speed in the race. I still do like Ben Franklin, the number 7. Those who subscribe to my Power Picks tip sheet, I want to make that very clear. I still like the 7, just not quite as much as I did before. The price is going to be much lower. I think this horse could be down to 5-1 now, 9-2 even. We'll see, maybe not. But I do like Ben Franklin a little bit in race 9. I liked him a lot before the scratches. Hopefully, Ben Franklin can electrify. Oh boy, can electrify the crowd in the stretch and win you at home some Ben Franklins. But we'll see. Anyway, those are my 2 top picks for the later part of the card. I like, again, the number 10, Kandala, in the QE2, and like Ben Franklin, although maybe not quite as much as I did before the scratches. Let's just get some final thoughts here on the bottom of the screen from Paul Collin. Nick Peak is stone cold right now. Yes, he's not running. He's not winning a lot right now, Paul, but I got a feeling this one's going to run. So we'll see. Hopefully you're wrong. Rob N likes Creative Minister, who now does get in that race. He's a funny horse. He's draws in from the 13 hole, but now I think is in the 9 hole. That's not bad, or the 10 hole, I should say, I believe, in that race. Let me see. Are there any other thoughts here? No. Yeah. Well, other thoughts in New York today. I've got 2 horses that are running that I have ownership pieces of. The number 6, Gemmin 10, is running New York in, I believe, race 8. Yes, race 8. There are 2 Adelphi horses, proud sponsor of the show. I have an ownership piece of one of them, Gemmin 10, who won for me in New York. I like him. I don't love him, but I do like him today. And then in the last race, I don't have the number. I think it's the number 2, Splashy, is another horse I own. Have a small ownership with Adelphi Racing. And it is a sprint race on the turf, main claiming. So good luck to my runners, Gemmin 10 and Splashy in New York. And if you want more information about Adelphi Racing Club, they do an incredible job. I've been with them for several years now. You can look at the bottom of the screen, get in touch with racing manager Matt Couture. Great guy. Their website is adelphiracing.com, one word. Matt's email is matt@adelphiracing.com, one word. matt@adelphiracing.com. They also have a Twitter or an X handle as well. I can't say enough good things about the Adelphi Racing Club out of New York. If you're interested in getting to horse racing ownership, that is always a great way to go. All right, I believe that wraps up the show. We've taken care of everything at Keeneland. It's going to be beautiful out there. The scratches are in. You can check that out as well. Good luck to everyone who's playing the contest. Matt Miller, Brad Anderson. Say hello to Kyle Roscoe, Emma, Noah Maher. A lot of great people out there. I know Chris Couples is out there. Who else? I'm probably missing some other people. A lot of great people out at Keeneland this weekend on a beautiful day. So for no co-host, for just me, I've been your host, Howard Kravitz, for Keeneland today, Saturday, October 12th. Crush your bets today at Keeneland. Take care, everyone. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
habits. If you have not followed his Triple H horse racing podcast, you're missing out. It's one of the best podcasts in the country.